has you looking at the Lakers a little bit differently right now. Of course, Oklahoma City is still a team to beat. They're the reigning defending champions. They're like 17 or 18-1. Denver's right there. They've retooled. They've gotten a bit younger, and they still have Jokic. And Jokic has been the Lakers' kryptonite for years, but that was before Luka Doncic got there.
The Los Angeles Lakers came into this season stacked with talent, heavy hype, and huge expectations. But once you look past the shiny highlights, a whole different truth pops out. The scoreboard can't hide everything, and the moment you really study the game film, the flaws start flashing like warning lights. Missed rotations, lazy closeouts, messy execution, and patterns that show something deeper is off inside this lineup.
Little Devin words with LeBron over here in the corner.
Doncic at the line. Now here's LeBron and Green talking on with a win yesterday.
If these slips don't get fixed soon, they won't be tiny problems. They could straight up crack the foundation of their playoff dreams. These aren't the kind of mistakes you survive in the postseason. Once the playoffs hit, the speed drops, defenses get vicious, and every weakness becomes a target. Regular season coasting won't cut it, and this squad knows it.
The brother's looking spectacular and a clear, one of the top candidates for league MVP honors if he continues to look the way that he has looked. The Clippers are another story, highly disappointing this season, but LeBron James being back, Austin Reeves and him doing what they're doing, and Luka Doncic just looking the way that he's looking, which is nothing short of spectacular.
One wrong stretch in April or May, and everything they built could flip upside down real fast. But give this roster credit. They're still coming out firing. The Lakers opened the 2025-26 campaign blazing hot at 13-4, sitting on top of the Pacific Division like they own the place, and none of it is luck. The numbers back it up loud and clear. An offensive rating of 118.4 points per 100 possessions, over 118 points a night, and the confidence to take shots that aren't just bold, they're smart. Shooting almost 51% from the field shows they're locked into their system and trusting each other every night. Combine that sharp offense with steady, disciplined defense, and you get a clean 3.5 net rating, the kind of stat line that screams, this team is coming for the playoffs. What really turns heads, though, is how they handle crunch time. When the game slows down, they tighten up, shut down lanes, and hit big shots like a team that's been here before. If they keep polishing what already works, this might be the early blueprint for something serious. The wildest part? Nobody expected them to look this dangerous without LeBron, but they shocked the whole league while he sat out, ripping through the Western Conference like they had something to prove.
But the way Luka is looking, it just is something special to behold, make no mistake about it. And the Lakers are doing their thing right now. They could be in the mix. It would not surprise me at all if the Lakers win the conference.
And across the league, one superstar is turning games into his own personal show. Luka Doncic has been unreal. He opened the season with back-to-back 40-point explosions, becoming just the fourth player ever to do that and the first to drop those numbers with double-digit rebounds and at least 5 assists in both games. He put up 92 points in 2 nights. That's a brand new Dallas record to start a season. Then he hit another 40-plus, joining Wilt Chamberlain in rare territory, proving he came into this season in full MVP mode. Averaging 35 points, 9 assists, and 9 rebounds. That's superstar dominance at its loudest, and right now, he looks unstoppable. In just 12 games, Luka became the first player ever to hit 400 points and 100 assists that fast, and he made it look effortless. That's not just great basketball, that's full control of the league. Meanwhile, for the Lakers, Austin Reeves has quietly turned into the heartbeat of the whole squad, moving smooth between starter and bench like nothing phases him. Reeves has stepped up crazy this season, dropping around 28 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists while shooting almost 50%. He leveled up big time, and that 51-point eruption on October 27, 2025 showed he can straight up take over when the stars sit. Only a tiny group of Lakers legends ever scored 45 or more, so hitting 51 stamped him as someone you can trust in pressure moments. His growth, his consistency, his versatility. They've all made him one of the most valuable long-term pieces in Los Angeles. DeAndre Ayton is finally reviving his game, the supporting cast is clicking, and now with LeBron back in the mix, This team suddenly looks dangerous again. But here's the twist. LA's got one huge flaw, and if it pops at the wrong time, it could blow their whole playoff run apart. If they don't patch this weakness, Denver and OKC will expose it without hesitation. But if they fix it, we might be watching history happen with LeBron chasing ring number 5 and adding more heat to that GOAT conversation once again. There's one rule every great LeBron or Luka squad follows. Surround your superstar with shooters. That formula has worked forever, but right now, the Lakers are ignoring it big time. They're sitting dead last in the whole league in three-pointers made. In today's NBA, that's a major problem because you can't win titles when you don't stretch the floor. So now everyone's asking, do the Lakers need to trade for a real knockdown shooter before the deadline hits? There's still a chance this fixes itself if everyone snaps out of the slump. But the numbers aren't pretty. Luka's hitting a career-low 33.3% from deep, right under his usual 34.9%, even though he looks leaner and is leading the whole league with 35 points a night. Austin Reeves is also struggling from outside, shooting just 31.8% from three compared to his career 36.6%. And even with LeBron backdrawing defenders inside, the threes still aren't dropping. LeBron himself opened the season shooting 33.3% from deep, right around his career mark. Not terrible, but not exactly lighting up the scoreboard either. If this shooting doesn't improve, playoff defenses will respect the paint and dare the Lakers to fire from outside. The exact same problem they faced last year. When those threes don't fall, their whole offense freezes. Defenders stack the lane, shut down drives, and force ugly shots against tough defensive teams. That's a straight-up trap, and it brings up a serious question. How does a team that got bounced in the first round suddenly start looking like a legit contender again? Sure, the Lakers finished third in the West last season, but that late-season meltdown, only 10 wins in their last 21 games, exposed every flaw they tried to hide. That early playoff exit wasn't a shock at all. It was a warning siren the whole league heard. Mid-season blockbusters like the trade that brought Luka Doncic to LA always dominate headlines, but they almost never flip a team into greatness overnight. Still, when things finally started clicking, the LeBron-Luka duo looked flat-out terrifying. Their combined star power twisted defenses around and left younger teams completely shook. But people forget Luka wasn't even at his best when he landed in LA. He got traded mid-season, came in a little out of shape, and only played 50 regular season games, the fewest of his entire career. Moves like that almost never run smoothly right away. Even with two superstars on the floor, the Lakers barely had time to build real chemistry, and the roster wasn't balanced enough to back them up. The biggest hole? Center. The frontcourt situation was such a mess that Jackson Hayes and Alex Len, LA's only true centers, combined for under 10 minutes per game in the playoffs. Len wasn't expected to bring much, but Hayes had been giving them around 20 minutes a night before getting benched in Game 5 against Minnesota because J.J. Redick couldn't trust his defense at all. That moment showed exactly how unstable the frontcourt really was. That's why DeAndre Ayton's arrival feels like a breath of fresh air. 15 points and 8 rebounds a night might not sound flashy, but for this team, it's exactly the kind of stability they've been missing. And with Luka playing at an all-time level, the whole formula finally looks like it makes sense. Luka is built to carry a franchise, and now with the right help around him, the Lakers might actually have the pieces to chase another finals run. But even with all that talent, one huge problem is dragging them back. The turnovers. They're sitting dead last in turnover percentage, coughing up the ball on almost 17% of their possessions. That's not just bad basketball. That's a momentum killer. Every sloppy pass turns into an easy fast break bucket for the other team, and it's costing them games they should be walking out of with wins. So the real question now is simple. Can LeBron fix this chaos before it destroys the whole season? In theory, yes, LeBron could steady this whole thing, but it's wild that the problems are this bad with Luka running the offense. Luka led one of the most disciplined squads in the league when it came to ball control, and while his 4.2 turnovers per game look high on paper, that's pretty normal for someone touching the ball on every trip. Nothing unusual there, but the overall team carelessness is the real shocker. If LeBron truly steps into that stabilizing playmaking role he's been talking about, the whole rhythm could settle fast. And if he pulls it off and somehow grabs ring number 5, the GOAT talk will explode everywhere again without warning. But even with that possibility, the turnovers are draining this team badly. Even on nights when LA shoots great, they can't build a steady rhythm because they lose control too easily. Marcus Smart was brought in for leadership, yet he's putting up 2 turnovers while barely cracking 3 assists, which isn't the level they expected. DeAndre Ayton is giving solid numbers, but even he coughs the ball up more than he should. You can almost feel JJ Redick's frustration from the sidelines because these mistakes aren't little. They're the kind that bury teams when playoff pressure hits. But underneath the turnovers sits an even bigger issue: identity. The Lakers still don't have a clear offensive structure, and without that, no team can truly dominate. Over the last decade, every championship squad finished top 6 in either offensive or defensive rating, and most of them thrived on offense first. Until LA sharpens their style and finds consistent flow, they'll stay good, not great. Problem number 3, the Lakers' biggest weakness is their defense. It's not a disaster, but it's nowhere close to elite. Analysts warned before the season that defense would be their main issue, and they were absolutely right. This team still struggles with missed rotations, slow closeouts, and lazy switches, tiny details that great teams punish instantly. When those slips happen, opponents jump on them without hesitation. Their offense can carry them for stretches, but every time the defense falls asleep, teams with real structure tear them apart. If this doesn't change soon, those breakdowns will get exposed hard against playoff-level competition. Still,
10 seconds left. Doncic drives, backs him down, gets deep, gives it up. Washington, double clutch 3. No, the tip in, and they're going to call a foul on the shot. Boy, it looked like he got ball first.
LA's best path to contention might not be locking down every single possession. It might be leaning all the way into their offense. To truly compete, they need a top 6 offensive rating. Look at recent champs like the 2023 Nuggets or the 2021 Bucks. They weren't defensive monsters, but their offenses were unstoppable when it mattered. For this Lakers group, that might be the only formula that works. And now we hit the 4th big issue: just how much this team depends on its stars. Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves are the entire engine of this offense, and the moment even one of them sits, everything changes instantly. Ball movement slows down, spacing collapses, and the clean looks disappear like they were never there. The numbers back it up. The offense lives and dies through these 3, and once they hit the bench, the efficiency drops fast. That level of dependence is straight up risky. LeBron has to manage his minutes carefully. Luka carries a massive load as the main creator, and Reeves can't be expected to keep the whole system running by himself every night. Even one off game, a little fatigue, a bad shooting night, or a small injury can throw the entire flow off balance. And the bench? They haven't been giving much help either. When the second unit steps in, the defense softens, the pace slows, and other teams start climbing back into the game right away. It's already a problem in the regular season, but in the playoffs, that could turn into a disaster quick. Once opponents start attacking those weak stretches, the Lakers' lack of dependable depth behind their stars could turn from a flaw into the exact reason their season ends earlier than expected. But with the playoffs getting closer, the Lakers still have time to clean things up if they want to turn this strong regular season into a real championship push. First fix? Defense. Too many slow rotations and missed switches keep hurting them. When they're focused, they can guard anybody, but that energy has to show up every single night. Better communication and sharper pick-and-roll coverage could turn this squad into a serious headache for every contender. Next up, the three-point shooting. It's not just about knocking down threes, it's about smarter spacing and movement. When Luka drives, the rest of the squad has to stay active, shift around, and keep defenses guessing so they can generate easier shots. That's how you stay in rhythm and avoid those ugly droughts where nothing falls. Turnovers are still a huge issue, too. Rushed passes and forced drives keep wasting possessions and killing momentum that should be theirs. If LA tightens up their decision-making and stops giving the ball away, their offense instantly becomes way more dangerous. And then there's the bench. They have to step up and bring real energy. Every time the second unit comes in, the intensity dips. And that can't happen when you're fighting for a title. Luka, LeBron, and Reeves can't carry everything forever, and once the postseason hits, mental toughness and unity will matter just as much as raw talent. Staying sharp and staying together could be the difference between another early exit or a deep playoff run that shocks everybody. If you're a Lakers fan, there is real hope here. The road is still open, and history proves it's possible. Back in 2024, Luka Doncic led the Mavericks, a team that ranked only 10th in offense and 18th in defense, all the way to the NBA Finals. And he didn't just sneak in. He went through the defending champions, the Oklahoma City Thunder, who were on pace to break the all-time wins record. That second-round matchup turned into pure chaos, with Luka and PJ Washington taking down the Thunder in a dramatic 6-game series that ended with a controversial call in Game 6. The whole basketball world was buzzing after that moment. So if you're wondering whether the Lakers can actually pull this run off, all you gotta do is look at Luka's own history. He's already proven he can drag a team deep into the playoffs even when the odds look stacked, and now he's doing it with LeBron and Reeves right beside him, which makes the whole thing even scarier for the rest of the league. I bring up that Dallas series to remind everyone that Luka Doncic and LeBron James are built for playoff chaos. Luka doesn't have a ring yet, but his postseason numbers are straight legendary. Both he and LeBron have averaged over 28 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists per game in the playoffs. The only two players in history to ever hit those marks. That's not hype, that's dominance. And here's something even wilder. Luka and Michael Jordan are the only players to ever average over 30 points per game in the postseason. That's rare air, and Luka is living in it. When Luka and LeBron share the floor with a good enough roster around them, there's no telling what can happen because Luka's in his prime. LeBron still has gas left, and when the best player on earth is on your squad, even super teams like the Thunder can crumble. But here's the catch. They need the right supporting cast to keep this dream alive. If the Lakers don't fix their three-point shooting or turnover problems soon, a trade might be the only real solution. The front office is already eyeing pieces that could change things fast, and some of these names could flip the whole season. Daniel Gafford keeps popping up, but pairing him with DeAndre Ayton doesn't really make sense right now. Ayton is quietly dominating on defense, ranking in the 92nd percentile for rim protection, even above Gafford. Gafford's solid, but LA doesn't need another big man. What they desperately need is a 3-and-D wing who can defend tough matchups and hit threes without blinking. If they could somehow pull off a miracle and land Lauri Markkanen, it would be a dream. For real. A guy putting up 30 a night while shooting lights out from deep is insane. But let's be honest, that's fantasy mode. Detroit or Golden State have way more assets, so they're the ones more likely to win that battle. So the Lakers have to think smaller but smarter. Someone like Keon Ellis could be sneaky good. He's been squeezed out of the Sacramento rotation. But his three-point shot and perimeter defense would fit clean in the Lakers system. Still, it's fair to ask, would a young role player like Ellis actually move the needle for a team chasing a championship? A bigger swing would be Herb Jones. The Pelicans are in a weird place right now, and his timeline doesn't really match where they're headed. He'd cost a lot, but with that first-team all-defense resume, the Lakers should at least make the call. He's not a top-tier shooter, but his toughness and energy could instantly raise the whole team's defensive level. Trey Murphy III would be another dream pickup. He's putting up around 20 per game and draining over 40% from deep. But if the Pelicans ever crack that door open, the Lakers would have to throw absolutely everything they've got. Then there's Andrew Wiggins. His trade value took a hit, but the guy has championship experience, can guard multiple positions, and still hits threes at a decent clip. He's not flashy, but he's the kind of steady veteran who wins you playoff games without needing the spotlight. And don't sleep on Jeremy Grant. He's pricey, sure, but if Portland slips out of the play-in race, that conversation could get real interesting. He's putting up close to 20 points a night and shooting over 40% from deep, which would slide perfectly into what LA needs right now. Bottom line, the Lakers aren't far off. They don't need another superstar, they just need the right piece that fits. If Rob Pelinka can grab one of these wings and tighten the rotation around Luka, LeBron, and Reeves, this team could go from solid to scary real quick. So what do you think about this Lakers story? Do you believe the Lakers can fix their flaws before the playoffs, or are we staring at another early exit? Can Luka and LeBron carry this squad all the way, or is there still one missing piece that has to be found? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I really appreciate everyone who takes a moment to share. If you enjoyed this full breakdown, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more wild NBA drama, power moves, and behind-the-scenes stories. And if you're still watching, go hit up the next video. There's plenty more crazy basketball talk waiting for you. See you on the next one.